This is Thomas Tamburello at the Durango Film Festival 2023, and I am talking with Jim Warne with the movie Remember the Children.
Yes, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here, and we just had my first screening, and it was almost a packed house. This is a great experience.
Awesome. Tell us a little bit about the movie and what inspired you to make it.
Well, Remember the Children is addressing the U.S. Indian boarding schools of the history. There's still a few in existence now, but the original boarding schools were established to kill the Indian, save the man, was the actual moniker. And essentially they were trying to assimilate us so that we were Christianized English speakers. And unfortunately, many thousands of children died at these schools, and there were over 400 of these schools in the United States alone.
Unbelievable. So, is it I haven't seen the movie yet. I definitely want to see it. Is it a short or is it a feature film?
It's a short that we hope to make into a feature film. So we got enough budget to make a short, and then we're hoping to get more budget so we can tell the full story.
Do you have a full script, Jim?
Oh yes, we have it all ready to go, and a lot of it will be through interview footage that we have, and we would love to be able to tell the full story, and we're happy with the 22-minute version, but we got an hour and a half that we could be telling the story.
Oh wow. So 22 minutes. That's a heck of a short.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a short. I mean, for a lot of times these are 10 minutes. So 22 is pretty cool. 22
is a bonus, and we, as a producer, I wanted to make it in that time frame just in case we got a network opportunity for commercials.
Yes, sir.
But right now we're just trying to get it out there and get the message out to the public so that people can learn about it, and then hopefully distributors and funders can see it so we can tell the full story.
What was your biggest challenges in making this? I know that any movie, no matter if it's a feature length or a short or 22 minutes, you must have had some pretty big challenges. Tell me about some of those.
The challenges is a multi-state film crew and trying to get everything put together, but fortunately we had a community of volunteers and educators and attorneys, the whole bit, that volunteered their time, and our film crew was only 4 people. So we had to do a lot of it, and I produced and was part of the writing team, and we were able to get a lot of impressive interviews with elders, and that's who really are the storytellers, traditionally as well as through film.
Sure. Did you have to travel quite a bit for some of these locations, or did you kind of stage it, or were you actually in some of the places that these schools existed?
We did go to some of the places so we could show the actual site of the school, and we had budget, so we got helicopter shots and then drone shots, sure, and then other shots of different marches and demonstrations supporting the new memorial for the school.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure this story stays alive, not only for the Rapid City Indian Boarding School, but for all the Indian boarding schools that are out there. Many people remember the Pope was in Canada this summer apologizing for the residential schools. They didn't mention American schools, but America didn't pay for the Pope to be there. So yeah. I mean, I'd rather not pay the Pope to come over to apologize. I'd rather use that money for Indian education.
Sure. And then in through filming this, it was your idea. Did you direct it? Did you write it? What was your involvement? And also, if you did have your dream shot to make the feature film, who do you envision being the storyteller and maybe some of the people who portray some of these people? Do you have anybody in mind?
Well, I know that there's a lot of native stars out there, but I really want to focus on the elders, because those elders are the true storytellers, not only from a traditional sense, but when you capture an elder's story on film, there's true power in that, and that you can share on the screen, which you can see in many of my films. The true stars are those elders that are just telling their stories from their heart, and that comes through film. Yeah. And that impact, that emotional aspect goes through film into the audience, and that's when you make changes, when the audience starts to think and discuss the content of your film.
Yeah, beautifully put. Is there anything else you want to tell the audience about the movie that maybe I missed?
Well, the U.S. Indian boarding schools, there was a lot of bad things that happened. Today, there's a few still open that are actually great places for Indian students that need help. So today's boarding schools are better, but the boarding schools of the past did horrible things, and thousands of children died, and we cannot forget those children, because they died for a reason. So I can be here sharing this story with you today, and they will not be forgotten.
Amen. Perfect. Well, thank you, Jim. I so appreciate it. I'm with Jim Warne, storyteller for Remember the Children, and I appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
Hey, watch Taylor.
Absolutely.